Hi, you're very welcome to the Filum Show. We're back filming in it with cameras and everything.
3 of them?
I'm with a crew with Charlotte Reed there and even producer Dave.
Hi.
I don't know which camera to look at, by the way. Do I look at that one, or do I look at that one? Or do I look at that one?
I don't think you're meant to look into the camera.
You're not generally supposed to address the audience, Brian. That's a general rule of thumb. Anyway, for this show, we're going to look back. We're going to look back at, I was going to say 2015. What year is it? Why I was going to say 2015, I've no idea. Anyway, 2018, we're going to look back on the films of the year, and maybe ones, Brian, like that you didn't enjoy very much.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of those now.
There's been plenty of them. Plenty. In fact, there's even an article about the ones that I didn't like. So,
is there? What does this article say, Brian?
Well, this article says Entertainment.ie's worst movies of 2018.
I didn't need the name of the article. I was like, what's the content of the article, Brian?
Somebody can search it on Google.
What was the worst films of the year? God, where do you start? Obviously 50 Shades Freed, because it's just, this was the last one of it.
I thought that was a phenomenal film. Enjoyed it immensely.
Why are you lying?
I'm not lying.
Why are you lying?
I'm trolling you guys.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why are you lying?
That's what I do now that I'm not a critic anymore.
See, this is it. I'm 1 year, we're off not filming for months, and then I drop my thing.
But to be fair, Brian, you do plenty of television.
Yeah,
and,
I know, yeah.
You know, you should know how it works, Steve, shouldn't you?
We don't normally do it in this kind of thing. Can you still hear me all right, yeah?
Yeah, you're 7 feet away.
Thanks. Cheers. Worst films of the year. God, there were so many.
I know the top 5 by heart, if that's any help, because I actually read these things before we
do you know the Entertainment.ie top 5, so it's not Brian's top 5?
Well, it
was amalgamated.
Yeah, it was kind of a general consensus, especially between us on the top 3. Yeah. I think that it was a general...
Did you throw your weight around?
No. Pretty much we were solid on the top 3. Now, not on the top 5 because I haven't seen 4 and 5.
Yeah.
And just to run through them. So your number 5 was The Happy Time Murders.
Oh, gotcha.
You did a great interview with the puppet, though.
And to be fair...
That interview went really well. And it's really funny.
It did. And in fact, this is a YouTube comment. I didn't say this. A YouTube commenter said this, that the interview we did was actually funnier than the entire film. So...
There you go.
I don't know.
So what you're trying to say is you're funnier than Melissa McCarthy.
I mean, in this one particular context, someone on the internet thinks that, yes.
Sexist. Anyway, Dee,
How is that sexist?
What else was there?
4 was The Girl in the Spider's Web.
Oh yeah, this film, I just thought this was...
He's counting it down for you. And they're like, bad film.
Every time it comes back, it's like, oh God. Girl in the Spider's Web. I thought this was muck. I thought it was... the thing of it is, Claire Foy, brilliant actress. You only need to look at The Crown to know that she is really, really talented at what she does. Fede Alvarez as well, you look at Don't Breathe. I mean, I know some people don't particularly like Don't Breathe.
Are you producer, Dave?
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said it was a film.
You felt indifferent
I didn't
towards
love it. It was just there, chewing gum for the eyes.
Well, at any rate, Fede Alvarez is a talented director, but I think the fact that they were trying to basically turn the character of Lisbeth Salander into this sort of female James Bond super agent, whatever you want to call it.
More sexism, more casual sexism from Brian Lord.
How is that? It's how is that? Deirdre, please help me here.
We've got enough cameras now that we can do the gym to the office look. Every time Brian does
just do a... I thought it was absolute muck, and I just thought the storyline was ridiculous, and they just completely underused really, really great actors. They had Vicky Krieps, who people know from Phantom Thread. She's in it for one scene. That actress whose name I've forgotten now, I think it's Sonia Milov. She was Love in Blade Runner 2049.
Oh yeah, she's great in that.
Yeah, I've forgotten her name now, whatever it is. But she's a great actress, and she was brilliant in Blade Runner 2049. Completely underutilized in this. Even Claire Foy as well. She just
all right, let's move it on. You didn't like it.
Didn't like it.
Dee, have you seen that one?
No, and I've no interest to see it now after
there you go.
Brian's scathing review.
See, I'm at the point now, right, guys, right? I know this is a film show, But I'm at the point where I only go and see films I want to see. It's marvellous.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy most of them because I've literally bought tickets to see them.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what's kind of so nice is the fact that, like, of our top 10, Brian actually, sat down and watched them all. I've only seen, like, the top 3. And I think number 10, I'd seen Robin Hood, which I don't think was the worst.
Oh, by the way, yeah. Where were you going with 3 stars in that?
It was a bit of crack.
Where were you going with 3 stars in that? Get a grip.
Anyway, actually, incidentally, Robin Hood, The Happy Time Murders, and The Girl in the Spider's Web were among 3 of the biggest box office flops of the year. So they shared that in common also.
So Brian is the voice of the people.
I guess so.
People. Person.
Number 3 was 50 Shades Freed, which we've kind of already gone through and said.
Oh, again, I enjoyed 50 Shades Freed.
Rated.
I just think they're hilarious. I think
they are hilarious.
I think they're so bad they're amusing. And I paid to see it. And
did you really?
Yeah, I thought it was very funny. Like, obviously it's not meant to be funny.
Because I remember you went to see, like, 50 Shades Darker and you were honest about it. Like, I went in kind of, like, half cut, like, and I was laughing the whole way through.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
were
hilarious.
you drunk when you saw 50 Shades Freed?
I might have been. I'm drunk right now. No, I'm not. I just thought it was ridiculous, but, like, I felt bad for Jamie Dornan for the first 2 films.
Yeah.
And then I was like, look, he's doing all right.
He's doing fine.
Look at him. He'll be grand. He'll do some other hard-hitting BBC/RT series and people will think he's great again. As for the moment, just take the money. Just take the money. It was so ridiculous. I like the villain guy who looked like Bradley Cooper, but if he was on a Mills and Boon cover.
There was hilarious. There was a bit, I think it was a bit at the end of the second one where he was like taking a cigarette and he like burns it through the hole.
He grows some stunt stubble as well.
Oh, deadly.
Like it's like this perfectly formed stubble. And the whole thing I thought it was hilarious. Fantastic film. Rent it, stream it, and laugh your balls off.
I just really hope people don't take it in any way seriously because some of the misogyny in it is so.
Who takes
like
it?
Like it's frustrating, It's aggravating. It makes me angry.
Like
especially in relation to her job and everything and how controlling he is around it. I mean, like obviously the relationship stuff we're used to seeing it like through all 3 of the movies. But even the way like he kind of controls her job and when she gets a promotion and stuff, like it's so messed up. Sorry,
like
that's me being a woman.
No, but it's true. Like it's
how dare you?
No, but it is weird. Like where he like literally buys the publishing house and then makes her the publishing editor of it or something. It's like Jesus. Like I mean,
everything women get in their lives, which is good, comes from men.
Yeah,
fuck that. We work hard. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse.
Well, you just did.
So
we can bleep it.
I could just see everybody just like, oh, crap, I have to bleep that.
Just add more and more to the edit. How dare you? Okay, can you give us a couple of your worst of the year?
Oh, actually, I agree with the top 2, so I'm going to go for those 2. 2 was How to Talk to Girls at Parties, and this stars Elle Fanning, who I actually really, really like, but this is just a complete mess of a movie. I don't know if the guy was like trying to do like some artsy-fartsy thing with it, but just there was no connection with any of the characters. It's just kind of weird looking and disorientating and just kind of it's quite repulsive and ugly at times to look at. It's basically about this alien, this group of aliens that come down and they're supposed to, I don't know, are they eating humans? I can't.
Is there a collective noun for a group of aliens? Like a cackle of aliens? What's
the collective noun? I don't think there is.
But like,
a bunch of aliens.
An invasion of aliens.
That makes sense. But it's a bit aggressive. Yeah. It's a bit aggressive.
It's just a genuinely ugly movie.
Yeah, wasn't a good film. And what was number 1?
Number 1, which we both agree on, and in fact, when we were coming out of this film, we were pretty sure it was going to be number 1, and nothing has surpassed it, and that is Mile 22.
Yeah.
Really, really bad film.
I hated Mile 22. Like, it was so, like, aggressively, artistically bad. Like, and I know, like...
It was so poorly made, poorly edited, poorly directed, poorly acted. Everything about it was just bad.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that highlight reel that they have of that movie show that's on TV, where they have a clip of you, and they're like, our reviewers don't hold back, and it's Dean Malumbi going, boo, it's crap, or something like that, I'm paraphrasing. You don't mess around, do you? That's what I'm saying. You don't mess around. You cut straight to the chase.
Well, we are talking about the worst movies here, so
That's very true. Was Den of Thieves not
there.
this year?
Den of Thieves was this year, but I kind of put it a little bit higher up the list. Like,
I think it was number 6.
I think I put it up to number 6 because there was a lot of crap films like that just took its place. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. Yeah, like Mile 22 was that bad. It was like, I don't think anything's going to top
The
it
crap
this year.
film top 5 was a hotly contested.
Oh, it was.
race.
Oh, it was. It genuinely was. Like, it was really like, there was a lot of thought put into it. Like, I would argue probably more thought put into the worst of the year than the best of the year. Just because like with a lot of, the best films of the year, you're kind of like, it was definitely this, it was definitely that, it was definitely whatever.
You could just do what some people do and just say every film is the best film of the year. Best film of the year so far. And then that just clears you. You don't have to say anything else.
Yeah.
Then,
But I think it's interesting that we were in such total agreement of like the 3 worst films, whereas our like kind of top films or favorite films of the year were kind of so disparate. So it's interesting that critically we can both recognize when movies are just purely bad.
Okay, so let's say if we can get 3, and you're saying there's a bit of a disagreement between the 3 best films of the year. So both of you didn't necessarily agree wholeheartedly on the 3 movies of the year. Right, am I right?
Best films
of the year.
Oh, no,
like
completely
Entertainment.ie collectively has its top of the year, but did you just have different films?
No, what we did, this is it. What we did for this year, which was what we haven't done before, was that
Brian made this decision as a movies editor. He took control and he made this artistic choice for the article.
No, what we did this year, rather than what we do every other year is basically yourself, and we just basically sit down and come up with the one agreed upon list of the year. This year we did something different. We basically said, right, I'm going to do my top 10 of the year. Deirdre's going to do her top 10 of the year. And then James W. Anderson and Stacey Crowden, who help us out with reviews, they were going to give their top 10s of the year. So we basically had 4 lists of top 10s. And that's how we basically worked it out rather than coming up with one solitary list.
Solitary? Okay, Dee, what's your third favourite movie of the year?
Tully.
Tully, loved Tully. Love Tully. It's a gorgeous film.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I've only seen it once. I do have to go back and watch it, but I'm also kind of like, God, that's like putting myself through another emotional roller coaster. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I've never seen a movie more beautifully and honestly portray motherhood just as honestly and as brutal and everything as it truly is. And maybe like because I'm like the eldest of 5 and I've seen my mum kind of go through raising the kids and everything, it just really, really touched me. So yeah, I love that one. In fact, all of my top 3 I picked because like this is going to sound really cheesy, but it's true. Like I was genuinely moved by them and they genuinely had like a really deep emotional impact.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I would have a favourite movie of the year or what I think is the best movie. If you have a visceral response to it or it reverberates, makes you feel all warm and tingly, Brian Lloyd. What was your third favourite film of the year?
That's a good question. I want to say it was Lady Bird. You're doing the camera to look there, aren't you? Yeah. I want to say it was Lady Bird.
This is your job.
I'm going to say, yeah, like I wrote this like about 2 weeks ago, all right?
I'm not asking you to write anything. I'm just asking you what your favourite film of the year was.
No, I'll say it was Lady Bird. I'm almost certain I put down Lady Bird. I know what my number 1 of the year is.
See, I disagree with the way people do that now. Because Lady Bird came out last year in America. It was eligible for the Oscars in the movies that came out in 2017. I know it came out in Ireland technically in January, but it's silly and it makes the list look dated.
It does.
Give me another film.
Okay, another film, like they were all, like to be fair.
They're all so great.
No, but like there was, another film that I had on my list was You Were Never Really Here. Joaquin Phoenix the one directed by Lynn Ramsey. I thought it was incredible. And I don't think a lot of people had it on end of year lists, but I thought it was
I didn't catch it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's like
it had a small enough release.
She's a great director.
She's a fantastic director. But yeah, it didn't really get a big release, and it's kind of a shame as well because like I think I got it released around March or April, which is completely out of season for any of the Oscar films. But I tell you right now, had that film been had it been released in a more awards friendly part of the year,
You're going 10 to 2 or you're reversing.
Doing 10 to 2 or whatever. But yeah, if had it been released in a more awards friendly season, it would have done way better, I think. I think people would be talking about Joaquin Phoenix for Best Actor.
He's talked too much smack about the Academy, I think, hasn't he?
To be fair, like I can understand in a way, like, I mean, he does have complete disdain for it, like, and I get that, like, it is like a lot of crap, like, but no, I thought it was brilliant. I thought his performance in it was really well done, and like, it's a very taut. We love that word. It's a really taut film. Like it's literally 97 minutes long or something like that. It's very short, but like when you're watching it, it never feels rushed. Like it feels like it's moving at exactly the pace it wants to move. But also as well, I think is, it's a film where when you're watching it, you can see that a creative decision has been made in every scene. Like the way that Lynn Ramsey sets up every scene, every part of it looks like it was designed to look exactly like that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know the way some directors, they do it when it looks very kind of improvised and it's just like, the camera just happened to catch that. Now, when you watch You Were Never Really Here, every part of it looks like it was specifically designed for that moment. Really kind of like early Ridley Scott stuff. Like, I think it looks really like that. So I loved it. That was incredible.
Producer Dave, out of 3 films you saw in the cinema this year, or was it 1?
Oh, heavens.
You went to see A Star Is Born.
I saw A Star Is Born.
And he saw Infinity War as well.
Bohemian Rhapsody. I saw Infinity War. And I saw Aquaman this week.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
He was texting me when he came out of Aquaman.
Yeah.
He hated it. I'm not done that to put words in your mouth, but he hated Aquaman.
You just
I
put
hated
words.
it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I
you agree with that.
saw Aquaman this week as well.
And
That says it all there, doesn't
I
it?
don't know.
Says it all.
I can't tell if it's the stupidest film I've ever seen or the smartest. Like it's so nuts.
yeah.
And it's so weird. I mean, she weaponizes red wine at some point.
Yeah.
Like she makes stabbing weapons out of it. So it's a very weird movie. There were some things in it I loved. Like I loved Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
As Orin he is
Our
brilliant.
buddy Patrick.
He is.
I thought he was very poor.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought should have
How
been someone
dare
else.
you? He's our friend.
Yeah, I've said it. Can't unring a bell.
Actually, well, I don't know if he is our friend because Brian ruined it for us.
I didn't ruin it. I invited him here. I invited him on this show. Patrick, if you're watching, buddy, next time you're in Ireland.
Actually, I'm switch off because producer Dave's about to tell us what he thought of your performance in the film.
I know. I thought he was about as good as he could have been, but it should have been someone else. I think he was miscast.
Yeah, well, he's worked with James Wan a bunch, hasn't he? So that's probably it.
And the film in general was really poor for me.
Well, I liked the underwater actual effects. I thought it looked really cool, but there were some bits I didn't like about it, like Aquaman and your one Mira as actual characters. Like they were completely
Two-dimensional.
threadbare.
Yeah.
I mean, even Aquaman should have some kind of consistent characterization, but he's like the jock in one scene, and then he's stupid, and then he's smart, and he's just all over the place. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, they say about him bringing the human world and the underworld together about 5 times in the film. They just rephrase it slightly.
Oh, no, it's ridiculous.
Oh, it's
I think,
it's
like
pretty
you
mad.
said there, he was going from character to character. It was like 1 minute he was being inspired by Hemsworth playing Thor. Then the next minute he was like Paul Rudd playing Ant-Man. It was like,
Yes.
it was all over the shop.
Exactly.
And as a film, I said it to Brian the other day, and I think I might have said to you that it's like a superhero movie that was made with the person making it having no knowledge that Marvel were making films for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It was like 13
Thor.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly what I thought watching it. I was like, okay, it's great that DC have come to this point, but Marvel got there about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
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 Mortar for DC.
Mortar.
Absolutely mortar. Let's talk about Infinity War for a second because I didn't like that.
It was
Okay.
in my top 10.
Yeah, it was in my top
I
10
think
as
it was
well.
like 7
yeah.
or 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was in my top 10 as well. I want to say it was up at the high.
Why though?
I think it was a testament to how you can kind of take, literally, like a decade of films and amalgamate it into one story and have it make sense.
Ooh,
You didn't think it made sense?
no.
Well, I suppose...
It wasn't just that it made sense, but that it actually had heart and character, and it really, that finale even alone just completely kind of blew me away. I really didn't see it coming, and I was genuinely like, what's happened?
Yeah.
What's happened to all the characters I love? No!
Yeah.
I was really, really
Yeah, but at the
upset.
same time, you also realise the vast majority of them are going to come back because this is a franchise and
Yeah,
sequels to those films have already been announced.
But in the moment, you don't know that. In the
you
moment
do,
when
though.
you're watching
You
it,
didn't.
you don't.
Come on
You
now.
didn't know,
Come
to be
on
fair.
now.
To be fair, this is I think a point that people may forget, is that they actually didn't announce any of the sequels until a few months had gone by after. So, no, I know you're thinking that's a load of crap.
That's a lot of crap.
But that is, at the time, nobody knew what was going to happen after Infinity War. No films had been announced.
Even in terms of like that visual effect and like the kind of sand like
Yeah.
fading, the way they did it, like it just felt like they were completely like vanished, just gone forever. And there was something really kind of traumatic about seeing
Yeah.
that, you know?
I mean, like what I said of
You
was...
have to place yourself now back into when you first see it and when you're watching it in that moment, because that's
Yeah.
how you feel then.
I
obviously,
felt like I
since,
wanted it to be over so I could leave.
You don't
Well,
like
fair enough,
superhero
yeah,
movies.
like,
I do. I love Deadpool 2. It's in my top 3 of the year.
Yeah, but you only really like Deadpool. Like what other superhero movies do you like?
Ever.
Yeah.
I like the first Iron Man. Thought that was fantastic. I actually like the first Avengers movie. It's all just a bit much now. I thought Wonder Woman was good fun.
Yeah.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy a lot because it has a bit of panache, has a bit of personality.
Yeah.
As to Thor Ragnarok. Even though I didn't think that was as good.
Yeah.
But like it's when directors or filmmakers make a decision on a tone or on using humor or not. Like you were saying, there's the issues with Aquaman that it's a bit all over the place. That I like films more, generally
Yeah.
speaking.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think
That's fair.
when they have that kind of budget, I just think, I mean, I get what the Russo brothers were trying to do. Obviously, I had to build to this massive thing. They split it into 2 movies anyway. I just thought there was too many characters and it was way too muddled. I don't know how they could have made it and had it not be that. And it is technically, really
juggling.
impressive.
It's juggling.
It's technically really, really impressive. But I think the second Captain America movie that they directed,
Winter Soldier.
I think
Winter Soldier, yeah,
that's
that's a great
one of the best in the entire
Yeah.
series because they went for a real 70s espionage vibe with
Yes.
it and it worked brilliantly. That's what I thought of that.
You should see, though, Into the Spider-Verse. I think you'd actually really like it.
Yeah.
I think you would, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your second best film of the year, Brian Lloyd?
Just that, actually.
Just
I think it was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Was it actually?
I think it was that high up, yeah.
Wow.
Say it
You
was.
had it number 5, I believe.
Oh, have you got the list open? Great. What did I have down as number 2?
Well, the one you were going on about there a minute ago, you were never really here, is number 6.
Right. Fair enough.
Top 3.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was number 5.
Right.
Your number 4, do you want to hazard a guess?
Not a clue.
No. Mission
This is your
Impossible
list?
Fallout.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, Mission
all
Impossible
time.
Fallout. I knew it was that. Yeah, go on. What was
Number
3?
3 was Michael Inside.
Michael Inside. Yes.
That was a great one.
That was a great one. That was a
Yeah.
brilliant one. That's it. Michael Inside, Lady Bird, and then Mandy. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I remember that. Came back.
See, I knew you knew.
Yeah, it
You
was
just
all
needed to be
It
told.
was in there.
You just needed to tell them the list.
It was in there.
One after
It was in
another.
there. But Michael Inside, yeah, no, we had Frank Berry in here. You remember when Michael Inside was on release. I honestly believe that Michael Inside is probably, if not the best Irish film of the decade, it's certainly up there.
Yeah.
In my mind, like I really genuinely believe that, Michael Inside is the kind of film that should be on like the Leaving Cert prospectus or whatever. Like I really
Syllabus.
Sorry,
Curriculum?
yeah, curriculum. But no, I think it's a really, really important film, and I think what Frank Berry does really well is it's not about like taking something that Irish people are ignoring and shoving in your face. It's more that he basically humanizes something that we as Irish people tend to ignore or certainly forget, like, and then makes us acknowledge that these people are human and these people do make mistakes and that they are deserving of our compassion. Like, and it's done in such a subtle way that, like it acknowledges the fact that the character did something wrong. It acknowledges that fact, but then it says, well, okay, did that guy have a choice when he did it? Did Michael have a choice when it happened? And also as well, what were the prevailing circumstances and like why was it that he was in that situation? Was it just because he lived in that area? Maybe it was. Why was he in that area? Well, he came from a broken home, and just the fact that
They don't shove that in your face.
Exactly.
These are all just thoughts that kind of come to you as you're watching
Yeah,
the film.
exactly,
It's
yeah.
so subtly done.
yeah, it's so subtle. Like it's just so smart as well. Like the fact that, like Dee was saying, like the fact that it's there, but it's not in your face. It just allows you to kind of think, okay, well, that's why that happened. And that's why that happened.
And I just add to that as well, I've never seen a more authentic portrayal of prison life ever. Like you see, like
Have you been in the big house?
No, but I mean, look, you see,
I just the way you said it. These like,
My
kill
secrets.
the guy.
No, but I mean, you see like the likes of Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption and other movies, you know, and they're also kind of over the top and stuff like this.
Well, they're king adaptations, I suppose.
Yeah, but generally in like Hollywood, you don't really see kind of what it's really like. And even like there are so many kind of little moments, like when he initially goes in and the guards are just that bit gentler with him because they know that he's young and they know that even though he's not showing it, that he's scared. It's just so beautifully done, you know?
Yeah. I really like Dublin Old School as well.
Yeah.
I thought that's one of my best of the year anyway, certainly. I thought it was beautifully made. I thought it was invigorating. You don't often see characters like that conveyed on film either because it's been a bumper year for Irish cinema in general.
Really has.
Yeah.
I know we
have an article coming out actually on Irish film.
We don't have Charlotte Reid mic'd up, but Charlotte, you're going to see the play. Charlotte has nodded for those.
There is an affirmative nod.
For those at home. And the play is phenomenal as well. The play is, I think, it's in Project Art Centre at the moment. So, depending on whenever you watch this, but it is a phenomenal film if you haven't seen it. I'm sure it's available to stream/download. As Brian looks around the room, like he's trying to remember something.
Yeah,
of course it is.
It's out on DVD as well for those who buy DVDs, such as myself.
Have they not stopped making DVD players now, do you know?
Well, they're still making DVDs because I know.
Need somewhere to put them.
Exactly. So, yes, I think the DVD players are still around. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Okay, so was your second of the year as well? Would you have gone with?
It was actually Lady Bird.
Oh, okay.
We both went for Lady Bird.
And was it both our number twos then?
I'm not allowing Lady Bird in this list.
Why?
Give me another number two.
That's not fair. It was out in Ireland in like February. I think I also had, well, it was my number 4, but I also had I Love Dogs in my list.
Yeah, cool. That's a good shout. Yeah. That was a very sweet movie.
I love that film. I was not happy with Brian for giving it 4 because it's a 5-star movie.
Yeah.
It's excellent. And my dad actually went to see it 3 times in the cinema. I didn't have time, unfortunately, but I did get it on DVD for my birthday, so I'll be watching it more now over the Christmas holidays. But my dad said he went to see it 3 times in the cinema. He loved it that much, and every time he saw it, he noticed something different or he got something new out of it. Like, it's that kind of film. There's so much texture. There's so much going on in terms of its design, its story, its characters, that like it genuinely is a new experience every time you see it. And it's so funny, and the banter that's going on like between like the likes of like Jeff Goldblum and Bill Murray and all of those, except their dogs. Oh, it's just so brilliant and enjoyable on so many levels, and it's just so feel good. Like, I can't stop smiling even talking about it.
It's a really sweet movie, and I like that they had screenings where you could bring your dog.
Lighthouse did that. Yeah.
And we were getting sent these social shots of dogs and chairs.
I was like, oh, this is great. Just the dogs just like
we're normally allowed. Like, we're allowed now. Like, what's the?
There's no way I would have been able to bring my dog to that because she would have just like pissed everywhere. She's such a brat, like.
Yeah.
And she's bald, and she would have been running around, getting excited, and jumping on people, jumping
and
on
humping dogs.
Yeah, like, I think that.
Why did you take it there?
I mean, dogs
she wouldn't have done that.
Like, sorry, she, like, you know.
What are you implying about there? There's dog porn?
No, I'm just saying, just that, like, dogs when they're in heat, and you know, you put them like we had a dog once that like
moving on swiftly.
Yeah.
You couldn't bring him out.
I don't like where that story comes.
You were just going to keep going there. And I was kind of interested to see where it would go, but you're dead right, producer Dave.
Thank you for shutting me down.
But in summary, from what I could see of all those dog-friendly screenings, I think that people kind of have enough cop on that they'd only bring their dogs if, like, they're trained.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Well, you know, some people aren't trained, and they can go to cinema whenever they want.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Okay, so film of the year.
For me?
Yeah.
Mandy.
I have to see this now that you picked it for your film of the year.
Mandy was my film of the year. I fully... Okay, right, here's what I'm going to say. I know right well you'd go to see Mandy, and you probably would like it. You'd go to see it, and you'd hate it. Right? I know you would sit and watch Mandy, and you would hate every second.
Why would I hate it?
It's
not John Wick.
Well, that, but no, but
Is it not kind of Nick Cage John Wick?
It is. It's Nick Cage doing John Wick. That's kind of what it's like. No, you see, it's
I'm
really...
in, Brian.
No, but what I will say about Mandy is that it is aggressively... not anticlimactic is the right word, but there are long sections of Mandy.
It's aggressively anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that for a movie description.
What I mean is that
sense.
I'm going to explain it to you. It spends ages building up to something, and then when it does eventually happen, it's kind of almost cut away from it, if you know that kind of way.
That sounds frustrating.
It is. It can be a frustrating watch, but like if you get on board with it, like if you can get on board with it from the opening scene, then you're like, yeah, absolutely.
You enjoy frustration.
Not so much frustration. I
why
like
did you
It
pick it as your best
challenges
film of
him
the
as a
year?
viewer
Yeah, it's
about the cinematic experience.
there. You go.
You
That's
were
it.
just trying to be all cool by
No,
picking
I
Mandy.
swear to God, no.
You were.
I swear to God, no.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I'm blind, I'm cool, I like stuff other people don't like.
No, that's not it. That's not it at all. I would encourage people to watch it and give it a chance. That's what I'm saying to you. I would encourage
You
anybody.
just told me not to that, I'd hate it.
You might surprise me. You might surprise me. But I'm saying I would think myself right now, using my prejudice of you or whatever.
Prejudice. I like the way my prejudice of you.
that I would
Gesturing
think
towards me.
I would think you would hate it, but I would love you to see it and see what you think of it.
I love just from like the trailer, because I remember writing when the trailer like came out, and I was
Yeah.
like, this looks nuts, and I actually can't wait to see it. But the cinematography in it looks stunning. And
yeah.
I love beautifully filmed movies. I just love that.
Yeah. It's really like, yeah, that's what I will say. Like, it looks gorgeous. It's done really, really well. And there's like really like bold choices with the color. Like, there are like the whole scenes of it where it's just all in red.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And it's really, really trippy. And then there's other parts of it where it goes into like animation kind of stuff. It's an absolute mind F. I'm not going to curse. It's a mind F of a film. And like, it's the kind of film that like, you would need to see it in a cinema. If you watched it at home, it's not going to have half the impact as seeing it in a cinema. And especially...
Well, I can only watch it at home, Brian, so that's a bit of a downer.
I know, but I think the Lighthouse are doing
you have to hang on for one of those grindhouse screenings or something.
That's
that they
it.
have. Yeah, but Brian, let's be realistic. People aren't really going to do that. So
But they should.
They're probably going to watch it at home.
Well, like, you're missing out. Like, you are literally missing half the film. Like, it's the same with, like, it'd be the same with, like, saying to somebody, oh, you know, you can watch Gravity or you can watch Avatar at home. Like, it doesn't really... You can, but it's not the same effect.
The story is good enough. If the film is good enough, generally speaking, Brian, that won't matter.
That's fair,
That won't matter, Brian Lloyd. You're everything that's wrong with film critics. You upset me. Dee, go ahead. What was your film of the year?
I picked A Star Is Born. I really do love it.
Round of
I mean, I
applause.
know, like, it's all...
I agree, 100%.
It's so annoying because I feel like it's almost become a cliche at this point.
It is
to
a cliche.
say it's already become a cliche.
It is a cliche.
No, it's not. And you didn't
It
even
is
see all of it.
Doesn't
So
matter.
Have you
Shut up.
still not seen the full film? You're so full of shite. It's unbelievable.
Brian's car was broken into in the middle of the film. So
Yeah, but
yeah,
he
it
still
was
hasn't
traumatic.
seen it, and
Yeah.
he's going on that it's not a great film, and he hasn't even seen it.
I saw enough of it.
No,
I saw enough
that's
of it. Brian-
BS. That's utter BS.
Brian,
and you
Brian
know
only
it.
likes films that you have to go to like Grindhouse, Cooley, midnight screenings to see.
Yeah.
So
The notions on
Yeah.
it.
It's not about notions.
anyway, let Dee talk about why she thought A Star Is Born was great.
Oh my God, everything about it is amazing. So Lady Gaga is amazing and Bradley Cooper is amazing. Both acting, I have to agree with you in terms of like acting. I think that this kind of blows all his previous roles out of the water. I think that he has to get either the Oscar for Best Actor or Best Director, or possibly both. I wouldn't be.
He
displeased
deserves
if he
an
got
Oscar
both.
for this in some capacity because Bradley Cooper did a phenomenal job
he
with
did.
this.
Yeah, and you keep forgetting, like you're watching him on screen, and you keep forgetting he's the guy that pulled all this together as well. I love the cinematography of it as well. Like I said, I love beautifully shot films. I love the music. It's just so beautiful, and it does kind of take you on a journey. And I know some people think that the songs can be a bit like hit and miss, like some of Ali's more like poppy
that's
songs.
like any album, though.
But
right?
as well, I kind of argue that like still in terms of like where they fit in the film, they're actually always tonally perfect, if you get what I mean. I mean, that's the whole idea of her as an artist, that she kind of abandons the whole like country thing and she does go into popular music. And there are so many artists that have done that, like the likes of Taylor Swift and all that, you know? And then it's just so, it's just so like genuinely moving. And I do think that like Oscars really do love the Hollywood story. I mean, you look at past winners like the likes of Argo, The Artist, Shape of Water, stuff like that. And I think that this is the contemporary, the kind of definitive Hollywood story of our time.
I don't know. I would agree with you 100% there, and it would be my film of the year as well, I think. But I don't know if Hollywood, if the Academy are going for those Hollywood type movies anymore. I think
just last year, The Shape of Water one.
Yeah, but that's not. But you're saying Hollywood, like as in like kind of in jokey a little bit, or it's based in the entertainment industry. That's about a film. That's a film about a woman who has sex with a fish.
Yeah, but if you watch it,
it's a bit off the wall for the Academy.
There's a lot of like movie references within it, if you get what I mean. So they're film nerds kind of movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Shape of Water, like it's literally their apartment is above an old cinema, and like the fish creature keeps going downstairs to
And
watch
like
all
the
the
stuff
cinema.
that they're watching on the old
Yeah.
TV, the old movies they're watching. So there is kind of
That's just not
movies
what.
within
That's just not what stuck out about that film.
No, it was the fact that it was like, I
There's
know
the
what.
narrative, yeah.
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 But to go back to Mandy, right? What I will say about Mandy is just to make a more salient point. I thought Nicolas Cage was
Hang
brilliant.
on, wait, I was talking about A Star is Born and you're
I know, but
hijacking it to talk about Mandy again.
I'm not. Just
Get him.
I just wanted.
Classic Brian.
I just wanted because I didn't make my point articulate enough.
But you went on about okay, fine. Just make your last point quick.
I thought Nicolas Cage was brilliant in it. I thought he gave a really raw. I think he gave a really emotional performance in it. Like I know that like he is kind of the guy that like is always screaming at the top of his lungs and what have you. But I think in Mandy, I think he really was trying to really convey what it's like to be in that state of grief, and then okay, what happens after that? Then you'll just go crazy, like, and he does it really, really well. That's my
Still
final
think his
point.
best work is
really
Connor. Sorry, would you want to finish off on a point about A Star is Born?
No, it's grand. I can make my point succinctly.
Great.
There we are now. Before we go, we're going to wrap up now. Is there something we're looking forward to next year the most?
Oh, that's hard.
No, it's not. It's John Wick 3, you losers.
Oh yeah, of course. Actually, yeah.
To be fair,
let's go with that.
I can say that honestly. Like, if we can get that picture of John Wick on the horse, that alone is enough to sell it to me. Like, he's on a horse shooting a guy on a bike.
Do you know what?
Right there.
I think I'm gonna in the next year or so I'm gonna rescue another dog, and I don't care if that dog is male or female.
You're gonna call that dog?
I'm gonna call that dog John Wick.
That's a good catch.
I do like a dog with a human name. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like with two human names, although he's a hero, he's
Yeah.
not really any human.
Yeah, because John Wick doesn't actually name his dog, so
Yeah.
it's very fitting.
my
Or Daisy. Well, that's the first one, isn't it?
Did it ever name the dog in the first one?
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive. Yeah.
It's Daisy's wife's name. Maybe that's why
No,
I'm
Helen
getting
was
mixed
his
up.
wife's name.
Anyway, we're looking forward to John Wick 3 next year.
Yes, John Wick 3. Yeah, John Wick
Yes.
3. Can't
Okay.
wait. Angelica Houston's going to be in it. You know that?
Yeah, it's
Halle
amazing.
Berry, Mark Dacascos, he's in a really fun movie called Drive in the 90s, which is a fun action movie.
Yeah.
And it looks like him and Keanu Reeves go at it a little bit, have a little bit of a scrap. I'm dying to see that, so that's my film of the year next year already. So
Yeah.
everybody else just go home. That's it now. The 2019 version of this show will just be John Wick. John Wick 3. We'll just talk about John Wick for 45
Countdown
minutes.
to John Wick 3. Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in the new year, filming and such, because we've just been doing an audio version of the podcast for the last few weeks. So, but no more.
Yeah, Brian,
No more.
actually, what will we be reviewing in our first week back?
The Favourite.
Damn.
Did I get it? Yes.
And Welcome to Marwin.
And
I
welcome to
love
Marvel.
that, like, Brian remembered something and gets rewarded, like a surprise.
You know why? It's because he had the date for it initially wrong, and I told you it was New Year's Day,
Correct.
and then I showed you that it was New Year's Day, and that's how he remembers because he previously got it wrong. Just pointed that out.
And a shout out to Brian and to producer Dave as well for coming in, because he's technically supposed to be off.
Yeah, I am supposed to be off today.
Yeah, well, you've nothing else to do, but Dave has stuff going on. Do you know what I mean?
Is that your day off, is it?
Well, I have to take several half days this week because I have annual leave left.
Same as, yeah. Same, we're in the same boat.
You've accumulated a lot of
days that I was supposed to
nowhere
take
else
off.
to go. You're blessed with
true.
cotton socks. That's it for this week, year. See you next time.
Which one?
That one?